The quiet goodbye you never see coming. There's a type of goodbye that almost never looks like a goodbye. No screaming, no dramatic ending, no final message saying, "I'm done." Everything seems normal on the surface. They still reply to your texts, they still show up, they still smile during conversations, but emotionally, something inside them has already started to disappear, and most people don't realize it until it's far too late. The scary part is that this kind of detachment doesn't happen overnight. It builds slowly through small moments that seem harmless at the time. A conversation where they didn't feel heard, a moment where their effort went unnoticed, a feeling that they were always understanding everyone else, while nobody truly understood them. Individually, these moments look small, but emotionally they keep stacking up. And people who leave silently are usually not impulsive people. In fact, they're often the ones who tried the hardest to stay. They explain things calmly instead of starting fights. They give chances over and over again. They adjust themselves to protect the relationship because they genuinely don't want to lose someone they care about. But while everyone thinks things are fine, something quiet is happening underneath the surface. They start observing patterns. Who listens when they speak? Who dismisses their feelings? Who only shows up when it's convenient? And every time the same disappointment repeats, a small piece of them emotionally pulls back. Not dramatically, not obviously, just enough to protect themselves. That's why silent detachment is so dangerous. It's not emotional. It's cumulative. They don't leave because of one bad moment. They leave because too many small moments slowly taught them the same painful lesson. And this is why people are often shocked when they finally walk away. Suddenly, everyone says, "Why didn't you tell me?" But the truth is, they probably did. Many times, just not in a loud or dramatic way. People who leave silently usually communicate early on. They mention what's hurting them. They point out unhealthy patterns. They try to fix things peacefully. But when nothing changes, they stop repeating themselves. Not because they stopped caring, but because they realized they were no longer being understood. And that's when the emotional shift begins. They stop expecting effort. They stop explaining their feelings. They stop investing emotionally the same way they used to. On the outside, everything may still look normal, but internally, they are already preparing themselves to let go. What makes this even sadder is that silent detachment often comes from people who care deeply. If they didn't care, they would have left much earlier and much louder. The reason they stayed so long is because they kept hoping things would improve. They kept giving time, patience, and emotional energy to something they wanted to save. But eventually, exhaustion replaces hope. There's also a psychological reason behind this behavior. Emotionally aware people notice patterns very quickly. They don't always need a huge betrayal to understand something is wrong. Repeated inconsistency is enough. Repeated emotional distance is enough. A relationship can slowly teach someone they are no longer emotionally safe there. And once a person reaches that realization, detachment quietly begins. That's why the most painful goodbyes are not always loud. Sometimes the deepest heartbreak comes from watching someone slowly disappear emotionally while they're still physically standing beside you. By the time you finally notice the distance, they've already been grieving the relationship alone for a very long time.